So Jay Slater's friends make a shocking update as Spanish police push back on their investigation, buying them time. So Jay Slater's devastated family may have to wait a whole year to get the answers on exactly what happened to the teenager out in Tenerife. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a video with me and Miss Gabby, the best private investigator on all of YouTube. The 19-year-old disappeared for over 4 weeks before his body was found in a treacherous ravine with a number of mysteries and unanswered questions still surrounding the case. And there was a lot of misinformation in this case, even propagated by mainstream media with this video that was actually from an old rescue and not affiliated to the Jay Slater case at all. So we really don't have much information about Jay Slater's discovery or body or what state it is in, and neither do his family. So the Slater family are due to bring back Jay's body to his hometown of Oswaldtwistle, Lincolnshire in the coming days, but Tenerife cops are yet to complete their investigations into his passing. This means the UK authorities could be forced to hold off on their official inquest for months until Spanish officials complete their findings. An inquest in the UK may then take even longer to conclude based on the nature of Jay's case and the complexities around it. Most coroners aim to finalize their results within 9 months of the initial inquest getting underway, say the Coroner's Court Support Service. Cops said Jay's body became, quote, very deteriorated, end quote, after it had spent weeks in the Masca ravine, where he was eventually discovered on July 15th. Initial evidence seems to point to the Brit accidentally falling to his unaliving after a preliminary autopsy by Tenerife authorities revealed the teen was found with broken bones. Jay's mother, Debbie Duncan, and the rest of Jay's family are said to have found a sense of comfort after hearing he likely passed instantly from the fall rather than suffering for days in a ravine. Investigations are yet to be finalized on Jay's tragic passing, meaning an inquest in the UK could still take place if they think it is necessary. So Jay's body was found on Monday, July 15th, a full 29 days after he vanished. The Spanish police called off the search 3 weeks into their investigation, but then suddenly the Spanish police decided to search again, and they were the ones to find Jay's body before the team from the Netherlands did. An insider revealed that the body was actually found on Saturday after an anonymous tip-off, and it was retrieved on Sunday and announced to the British press on Monday. So what the mainstream media is telling us is inaccurate. Jay's body was identified because his belongings were found on him, but interestingly, his clothes were found beside him, almost as if someone tossed him off this cliff and then threw his clothes down with him. The Dutch search team revealed they had to travel 2.5 hours to find his body down a ravine, and they had to use machetes to get to this location. And even when they reached the bottom of this ravine, they had to use a drone to see the exact location of Jay's body. And you can see in this video that there was a sniffer dog that sniffed out the location, but even the dog couldn't get to it because it was still too steep for them. But it was revealed Tenerife authorities had already taken Jay's body away using a helicopter before the Dutch team and their dogs arrived. Authorities on the island also took some of the ground beneath Jay to confirm how long he had been there. So before this team even arrived, the evidence was already gone. The authorities will not allow the family to ID Jay with their own eyes, given the state of his body, and a preliminary autopsy revealed he had multiple broken bones, which is consistent with a 500-foot fall. And you can actually see the cliff in this video that he allegedly fell from. But, many cyber sleuths are also pointing out that he could have faced something more nefarious, such as being pushed off that cliff. Pretty much everyone is calling into question the Spanish authorities' handling of the case, since there are a few details that really stand out as suspicious, including how they were positively identifying him using fingerprints if his body was there in the hot sun for 29 days. a forensic university student, weighs in on this suspicious detail.
Now, I'm going to give you the 3 main factors that contribute massively to accelerated decomposition. Number 1, age. The younger you are, the faster you decompose, and that's just scientific fact. Jay was a teenager, or is. Number 2, weight. The less mass you have, the faster you decompose. Jay looked pretty skinny to me. And number 3, what a lot of you have mentioned about the environment and when he was found, like at the bottom of a ravine, and it gets cold there at night time, sometimes like freezing, and it's covered by a canopy of leaves, so it protects you from the sun. It wouldn't make a difference, especially after a month. Jay's remains, if they were Jay's remains, were apparently found at the bottom of a very steep ravine, with apparently broken bones and a closed door open head injury. By closed door open, I mean through the skull or not, okay? When Jay's remains get transported under the care of the coroner, they will look at all the injuries, broken bones, head injury, etc., and they'll ask the authorities, okay, where was he found? And they'll tell them at the bottom of this ravine, okay, that's consistent with a fall. So that's what's happened, and that's what they'll rule. There's no other evidence suggesting otherwise. It's all been removed. I'm sure any evidence that Lucy or those 2 guys had, i.e. phones or anything like that, have long since gone. People in those kind of positions, they know how to cover the tracks.
Yeah, me and Gabby, we definitely smell a rat on this one. I mean, what are the chances that the Spanish police were the ones to find the body, right before the third-party Dutch team did? It just sounds to me like the Spanish authorities were trying to tie up all the loose ends to get the media spotlight away from their corruption. I really hope, for the sake of the family, there is a criminal investigation into Jay Slater's passing. From the start, Jay's mother, Debbie Duncan, and other members of his family and friends believed Jay was kidnapped, and they were even receiving ransom letters throughout the search. So Debbie, at the start of this case, revealed a ransom message that read, quote, "Kiss goodbye to your boy. You're never going to see him again. He owes me a lot of money," end quote. Just last week, Debbie was demanding answers how the police were able to search for 3 weeks and find nothing, but then later found his body 20 minutes away from where his phone last pinged, in an area that was combed over by searchers and world-class sniffer dogs. And with the boiling hot Spanish sun, the smell would be overwhelming, and even wildlife should have tipped the authorities off as to where Jay's body was located. Of course, many are pointing out how strange Jay's final movements were. I mean, Jay left the B&B, quote unquote, scared, according to the private investigator, Mark Williams Thomas. And according to his friends, Jay brought knives with him to sell this stolen watch. Jay refused to hitch a ride with the B&B host or wait for the bus, and instead opted to walk 11 hours for food after partying for 3 days. I mean, that makes no sense. The last thing on your mind is food, and he actually went in the wrong direction. Wouldn't there have been food at the B&B? And I mean, why did Jay go to this B&B 23 miles away from the place he was staying, near where the rave was? He had no reason to be there. And what really bothers me about this is, why would Jay go off of the highway and the well-beaten paths into the park to risk his life by making this journey into the mountains where he eventually lost his life? I mean, he completely went off the road. Like, why would he do that? This testimony of Jay's final moments, which occurred at the beginning of the case and got buried, seems to make the puzzle pieces all fit. So I haven't heard this one before, and it makes a lot of sense.
It's not fake. Lucy May is not innocent at all. I'm a close associate to Lucy and others in Tenerife and Ibiza. Rumors are true. Lucy is a drug mule. We work together. About 20 of us split into groups, half to Ibiza and half to Tenerife. This is our job. We get brought out every event or any month in general to deal, depending on who you are, how long you've been doing it, and what you've done. You get paid differently. Lucy is more a top dog in it. Lucy gets paid £25,000 a month to deal and sell. About 10 of us get 14 grand, and the new recruits get paid 5,000. Lucy met met Jay at a festival and started discussing with him over Snapchat about how we can make money doing all of this, how it's a luxury thing that we can live the life, and Jay came along to Tenerife and met Lucy there. Lucy explained the danger to Jay, and if we F up, we're basically dead, and our bosses take disrespect to her and do not tread lightly. We got dropped backpacks of packs estimated around £17,000 and dished them out at a festival in the streets in general. There was around 5 bags and we got designated bad holders and who would have the bag 24/7. And then take up however much was needed. Lucy had a bag along with me and also Jay. We separated into different groups and went our way. Lucy then gets a call from Jay about 3 a.m. in the morning, Monday morning, crying, saying he's lost the bag. Apparently around 30 minutes later, they come to collect and they realize there's only 4 bags and they get questioned. That's when Lucy explains what Jay has done. He went back into his car and got straight onto the phone, and Lucy told Jay, "See, I told you you'd be alright." Around 2 minutes later, he comes back and tells us to turn around. He tells us we either find the 30 grand right now or we get killed. At this point, Lucy starts crying and is trying to reason with them, begging them. Lucy tells them we haven't got that much on us. Even if we did, we wouldn't be able to get it to him in time. And the man gets back on the phone and starts speaking Moroccan. He gets off and tells the boss he wants one of us until he gets his money. We try to reason with him and offers him something else. After failed attempts, the man says he's taking Jay as he's the one that's done the damage. After Lucy was perfectly fine and stopped worrying all of a sudden, we all sat down and explained how the hell are we resolving this, and nothing like this has ever happened. We get a phone call saying if we don't get the money, then basically you know what's going to happen to Jay.
So Ayub Kasim, the person who was at the B&B, was a convicted substance dealer who spent 11 years in jail. So this kind of makes sense that maybe Jay had lost these bags, owed $30,000, and then if I'm putting my conspiracy hat on, and this was Gabby's idea, that maybe he stole that watch to pay back what he had lost, got to the B&B and realized that the watch was fake and he couldn't sell it for that price that he wanted it for to pay off this debt. So he made a run for it and then met his demise. So because of this resurfaced video, many people are suspecting that the GoFundMe money might actually be being used to pay off this debt, since the accounting doesn't make any sense. Debbie allegedly said she used £52,000 to pay for the Dutch search team, but the search team went on record and confirmed that they provided their services for free. Now Ayub made a startling update that has people freaking out. I mean, it's of him on the rocks, apparently rejoicing. Many people think that this has a sinister undertone since Jay was found on the rocks. And with the broken bones found in his autopsy, it is possible that he was pushed and the Tenerife police were paid off, since the authorities might be tied up with the massive criminal underworld that pretty much runs Tenerife. And the top comment reads, "Someone needs to sort him out. And if I was the mother and I thought that he was laughing at me, I wouldn't rest. I'd sell my house and spend every penny I had to make sure he got his comeuppance." And another writes that he is the person that murked Jay. And I just want to confirm that the convicted substance dealer, who is the last person to see Jay alive, has video of Jay at the B&B. So one person directly asks him, "But why did you punch Jay in the face?" Which is currently a tip-off that people are receiving that there was a fight that occurred before Jay left the B&B. And this guy who goes by Quack Quack Entertainment, also known as Ayub Kasim, also known as Johnny Vegas, writes, quote, "LOL, what do you know? I've got videos on my phone of us all together laughing, cracking jokes. You lot are so sad. Carry on frying your heads." End quote. So this pretty much confirms that he has extra video of Jay at the B&B. And as somebody who is wanting answers, I really hope that these videos are retrieved so that we can see the state that Jay was in at the B&B. Because Ayub Kasim was sharing the B&B with another unnamed person, and we still don't know that other guy's name. And there's just so many loose ends to the story that the more information we get, the better off we are. What do you guys think of this delay in the Jay Slater's inquest? Are the Spanish authorities buying themselves time? I think so. Gabby thinks so. And Gabby says, "Justice for Jay. Rest in peace, Jay," because we really hope that we get answers for you. And a lot of us don't believe that you simply just fell off the cliff. There's just too many red flags from the get go of this insane story. So don't forget to subscribe by hitting my face right above Miss Gabby, the hardest working private investigator on all of YouTube. She is the best, guys. All right. Don't forget to subscribe by hitting my face right above Miss Gabby. And let's roll the outro. Bye, guys. Love you.